Hello, everyone. Welcome to Empower Art Balkans, the podcast where art meets reality. I am Angela Mary, and today we will be talking about young immigration. And to be talked about that, today I have invited Angela Bajrami. Welcome. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very good. Thank you for inviting me to this podcast.
Your work of art expressed the immigration through colors. Wasn't there any background experience or like you heard about it to express it? Like what inspired you?
When I saw the notification that we can express these issues through art, one of my most I had more experience in graphic designing a bit, not like for example drawing or sketching or other things. So that's why I thought maybe I can try this out. Maybe it works. And also for the colors, I think that I chose some really cold colors, which I think express this issue better to see all the brain drain and immigration or something that when you see it from the outside, you see that it's not very nice and not very happy.
If you can express your work of art in just one sentence, what would it be?
Because I think if I would just say two words, brain drain, I think would capture the essence. But in a sentence, I think I don't know, just leaving is not that fun or that colorful. I don't know.
In your piece, you have the capital of Germany in background, Berlin. Do you think, did you make that because the latest trend of Albanians is leaving to Germany?
Yes, that was actually what I had in mind, especially since we know that Albania was one of the largest number of immigrants that were going to Germany, especially about the professionals, especially in the medical fields and other parts, where they were also the brain of Albania, mostly students or just graduates that were leaving and to Germany. That's why I chose that background, and also in the suitcase that I had, there was
there was
Balkans.
A suitcase where all the Balkan countries
Yes.
were traveling to Germany.
Yes, because I think it's a trend that is seen overall in the Western Balkans as well.
Have you lived in another country for I don't know, 3 months or more, a short period of time, but you experienced it leaving your homeland in this case?
Well, I think I had a different experience. I was born in another country, and then I came back. So, yeah.
Okay, but you can still answer my question. I was going to say, it's more hard to be a goner, let's say, and come back to your own country, or to live in a new country and to adopt your old life there.
I don't know. I think they're both a bit hard, and you need a support system kinda to actually be able to either adapt or find new ways how you're going to live in another country. So I think having for example, if I was going to leave alone, I think it would be very hard. But if I would go with family or other things like that, I think it makes
system.
It makes the process easier, and and also knowing the country also helps. So.
Do you think people live just because of the financial reason, or it's more deeper cut, there are lack of opportunities, they don't find themselves here, each professionally or personal level?
I do think that it's not just because of money, because we can see that also professionals that maybe are earning more money or are doing generally well, they still have this desire to leave, and I think it's a combination of a lot of factors. For example, the trust in institutions and government is really low in Albania, and not only that, we have safety, other even the public or public transportation or other things that in Albania people see that they're not the best way they can be, and maybe they see other countries as a escape or having better opportunities.
Well, knowing the history of Albania, the 90s, where I don't know, I have heard, I read about it, I haven't experienced, but it was a mess. And generations start leaving through, I don't know, Italy, Greece, and now the new trendsetter is Germany. But For our generation, do you think we are less impatient or willing to wait or to make a change in these conditions?
I'm not sure because I do think that, for example, previous generations they did not have much information about how the other part of the world works and like what opportunities they are, and I think that they also like even if they were not so like enthusiastic or really wanted to change our country, it's not they were not thinking about leaving because maybe they thought it was impossible or just not like crossed their mind. But I think we have access to much more information, and
True.
we like can access, for example, we can see our generation what they're doing across the globe, and we can maybe feel that we would like to experience that. So I think that's what makes us more like willing to leave and find other like situation. But of course I do think that maybe we are a bit impatient in changing our own country.
But going in the same line of the thoughts that you just shared with me, do you think the governance of Slovenia is doing enough, knowing the generation they are holding, the young generation? Do you think they're doing enough to keep us here? Like, I don't know, probably fixing the job system or the universities or things that impact our life the most. Do you think they're doing their best, or there is still a lot of place to fix?
Yes, I think that there's a lot of work that needs to be done by the government, and this includes not only like updating the education systems to have like the skills that are really relevant in the labor market, but also like even in the labor market itself is not really like open to younger generations, and like you can see, for example, all the job requirements like need 5 or like 10 years experience. We have like other like with reference nepotism and other things as well, where like in this case when someone is looking for a job they might feel also hopeless, and like there are not like that much places where they can like look for support or other things. So I think this is like one of the areas that the government should focus on and find like more ways to be friendly, let's say, to younger people and their like needs and how they can really adapt and make an impact in their country. So yeah.
Well, most of organizations or institutions say they're near to the youth by offering them internships, which are mostly unpaid.
Yes. Well, I do think that like this is really a problem because, for example, we know the situation of Albanians and like poverty and other things. So most students they have to work in order to also cover their bills or other things. So or like books and other education fees. So if they have to like actually gain experience, and if it's like an unpaid internship, it will not be like they cannot do that because they need to work something that is actually providing them like the necessary like finances in order to like survive maybe.
Yeah,
but
especially
then
being a student, that's hard.
Yes, and then but also this way you're like maybe like losing time doing these other jobs like waitress or other like positions instead of gaining more experience that is related to your degree, because you can't because of like unpaid internships or other situations that are really hard to get into.
Do you think the media or the social media does really have a role, like in the influence they give to the youth, since we are known as using only our smartphones and for everything? Do you think, for example, seeing a young person in America or I don't know Germany living their best life, we are pushed like from inside thought why that person is not me? Do you think that impacts our life and the decision we make from that moment?
Yes, I do believe so. I've heard personally, for example, from other friends that they saw, for example, even like American movies, and they wanted to live that life of high school and other things, so they applied to go there. So yeah, like even for us, I think that like TikTok, Instagram, these like are really like platforms that really influence like how we perceive what is happening like outside of our bubble. So yeah, I think that it does impact and maybe like makes us want to like it creates this maybe dream life or something that we would like to achieve. But when they go there, they see that it's not like exactly that reality. But
so you're saying we tend to romanticize.
yeah, I guess so.
We move on delusional bubbles.
Yeah, maybe.
Even the people, for example, the immigrants, Albanian immigrants that live in those countries, when they come back, they don't say the struggles they have in those countries. They just say the best things, and us that do live with struggles here say, well, that can be different if this person close to me say that, like we are being influenced.
Yes, I do think that we have this tendency like to it's I think that for example for other people like that are Albanian but live outside of Albania, like maybe it's more interesting for them to say that they're having
Yeah.
fun and doing all these cool things instead of like who would listen to them if they're just saying, oh, it's really bad or we're like struggling. So I think that they like it's something that it happens if it happens to some people, then other people that are having the same experience, they would also like try to make it more like more beautiful than it actually is. And then I think that what you said about like maybe ego like or like bragging a bit, I think that maybe be possible too. I mean, we like in Albania usually we have this like closeness to family and we like want to stay together, but still maybe like some parts are also, as you said, like to know that, oh, my child is in Germany and they're
Yeah.
studying and they have this. So even like whatever they're doing like there or like in UK or other things, they are just really proud to say that, and like it has this like glorified sense when you say. So yeah.
That's not a good thing.
I know, but just it happens.
Do you think that with the problems that we had as a theme in our project, like brain drain, immigration, unemployment, and stuff like that, do you think the art makes an impact in this social problems that youth has it directly to them?
I believe so. I mean, maybe not that much of an impact that they would not leave or something, but I think like even the raising awareness part is really important, and at least like maybe some more young people can also like resonate with it and actually like understand that this is an issue, or like maybe have this inner thought that this should not be like as it is right now. So I think that especially the raising awareness is really important and can be done through art.
What kind of reactions did you receive from people that watched your art in the art exposit?
In general, they were really positive. They found it interesting. Also, like the colors and the scene. I think that they saw it like something nice. And some of them that knew me, they knew that it was my work. So I don't know if I have something signature or something about it, but yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. You like the cold colors.
Yeah, maybe.
If a policymaker saw that art and it said to you, Angela, give me advice. What should I change to make this thing better? What would you say? Knowing that they will actually take it serious,
Yeah.
which they usually don't.
Well, I think that like one of the most maybe the area that they could focus the most would be the education and like career counseling and these kind of things, because even since like high school or even earlier, they should be more like sessions and awareness like how the job market works and what are like the most needed jobs in the market now, or also like professional schools that maybe can be put in focus and not have this like negative like look. And also this goes also to universities to also like maybe incentive students by like some scholarships or things like that that maybe they can, or like the paid internships and like things that where students can gain experience, actually have something like to gain back, and then like work on being better in that field. So I think that this like part of like adapting from school to the labor market, if it's done better and students have like more accommodating like parts from like policymakers and government and other institutions, I think it would make it easier for students to feel that they actually have like a future here.
Do you think schools should be more involved with the work area? Like they kind of to lead the students they have in appropriate organizations or workplaces they should be working since their degrees? Because I don't think they're doing enough.
Yeah, I do believe so. Like, I completely agree that they should be more involved. For example, they can have like more like maybe field trips or other parts, like to go to companies, organizations, and like see what are the positions. Like, because I think when you're a student, especially in high school, you maybe not even know what professions there are. When you might even not know what you're good at or what you can like be interested in. You have like these main things, or also like the parents that are having these main things in mind. but they are not exploring them for themselves. So I think that if they had this chance to actually, for example, or like when I was just thinking about like in Albania, there's not this practice, for example, bring your kids to work day or something like that.
Would be amazing.
Because I think even if you're like younger and you have this opportunity and actually see what goes around, like what's happening, I think that like just being closer, as you said, to the job market and other things, I think it would be great, and you could actually like learn how things work or what you maybe are more interested. Maybe spend a day with some other professional and see how like they're like like kind of job shadowing, and then see if you maybe enjoy it and would like to do that yourself. So
the idea of bringing your kids to work is amazing. Even though I think my father would use it like, look how hard I tried for you.
Yeah, but I think like not just maybe like staying with your father, but even like maybe being assigned to someone else inside, like during that day, it would be nice so they can like really experience some different parts of the job.
Yeah, it definitely would give a different POV of the workplace that we have thought till
Or
that
even
moment.
did not know, maybe, because
Yeah.
especially when you're younger, you have no idea, maybe like, for example, what is an accountant or other things that maybe seem like
Yeah, it's true.
fictional, or I don't know.
The high school students just know the basic
Yeah,
words.
exactly, yeah.
And when they fill that university form for what they want to become, they just feel like, I don't know, a lawyer,
Doctor,
medicine.
yeah, like these.
That's mom influence, but they don't know. And in the way they do jobs,
Because there's so many things and there's so many gaps that maybe need more professionals, even in Albania. But
of course.
there's no information, especially like provided to young people that like so they can actually like fill in these gaps and have more like expertise. So
I think there is a subject called career or something in high school, but I know from my personal experience it's just used to play volleyball or something like that.
yeah.
So I hope things to be changed.
Yeah, to like I think it should be more priority and like actually like impact your experience in high school. But even earlier, as I said, it like if they had a chance even earlier, maybe in high school they would focus more on subjects that are related to that thing, and maybe like have more like experience.
If you could go back to your high school years, what would you change in order to have, I don't know, easier life right now or better life, or something that you didn't know but now you know and would change it in past?
Well, for example, personally, when I was in high school, I was very confused what I would do in university, and I did not know what I was going to choose. I just like had like all these options, and then I just chose business administration because it was like a general degree, and it had like different like fields to study a bit of everything, so I could like maybe learn more what I would like to do. So maybe in high school, if I would also maybe take the time to experience a bit more from different professionals, or like maybe learn a bit from their experience what one job does, what other things, maybe like try a day working a bit, like I don't know, something like that I could maybe see how it goes and like if I really enjoy it or not. So yeah, I think that I would really like want to like be more involved outside of school in order to know like like my experience in university to be easier, and like my choice especially, that I was really confused. So yeah.
If in Albania or even in Western Balkan there were major flip, like a major change, what do you think it has to be, like for people to stay, youngsters to stay? For example, in one of the podcasts, one of the girls said they should create youngster governance. And I was like, okay, it's going to be a chaos, but okay, it works.
Yeah, I think that one of the main things that is an issue is like, as I mentioned before, like the trust in institutions and government. But I'm not sure what is the solution and like how it would be improved to like really like have more like functioning and like more like focus on the social aspect of the people and like what they need. And then also I think like regulating the job market and like having like really helping individuals advance and grow, and not just like like having like without, for example, no plan for promotions or other things that maybe make people like less motivated to like have something. So I think that like if the job markets were more regulated and you had more opportunity to grow as a person and like advance, and also have like support, for example, opening a business or other parts. I think that this would make people more motivated, and then the trust in the government and institutions. That
Do you think about leaving sometimes? And if yes, what are the reasons?
well, I mean, I have thought about it. Maybe not like with a plan or something really concrete.
You
But
just started with the
yes,
suitcase.
maybe, yeah. Maybe just like, I don't know, seeing, for example, firstly, like the reason maybe would be education, like maybe for a master's or something else that maybe I would find a more interesting degree outside of Albania, so I would like to pursue it, for example. And then, I don't know, I don't think I have established my life quite here, so like I can't really say like how I would like it to be. So, for example, I'm not in a full-time job or something, so I can really like compare if I'm going to leave for this reason. So that's why I'm still in this area of like deciding what I'm doing with my life, and so I don't even know what the exact reason would be, but I think mainly would be maybe education, and then
Okay, we talked why people leave. Why do you think people should stay?
well, I don't think anyone needs to like advertise Albania anymore as like all the natural beauties and other things that it has. So I think Albania is a really nice country. Like it's a small country, but also like it has like many, of course, maybe many positive things. Not only like I think most of the people you can say are really positive and friendly, but also I think it's like generally like the pace that Albanians take is like really nice, and we like have we value and cherish things that are maybe like small, but other countries maybe not have, like they don't have it in focus that much. Like we like, maybe we can say we work to live and not live to work kind of way.
Oh.
So I think that
That's what our prime minister mentioned in one of.
yeah, I don't know, but I do think that it is like nice if you can find like, I think if there are things like the things that need to be improved, if they're improved, then we can like really like enjoy like Albania and really like grow it as a country and have like a positive impact.
What advice would you give to someone that is kind of like packing a suitcase and packing a suitcase, like leaving or not leaving, still in decision making?
Well, I think that it's important to like try the possibilities you have. So maybe think of an area you have not gone yet and see if you can maybe try something new, or because it depends also on the reason. I don't know. It like exactly, but if it's like in like more in the brain drain in that area, I think that like trying like different maybe positions or different like opportunities or like I don't know ideas, or collaborating with other people and see if you find maybe something that works. Why not to try
So
and
you're
see?
saying to
So,
give a
Like
chance.
give a shot, yeah.
Yeah, give it a shot.
Yeah.
That's good. I think we are impatient. That's the answer.
Yeah, I mean,
Not all of us, but
Yeah.
most of us we are. So that's good. You said you are in a part-time job. How hard is to get a part-time job here in Albania? Because I know we are not very familiar with the culture of part-time job.
yes, I do believe it's really hard because I have tried searching for jobs even during my bachelor studies. So for part-time job, and all the like the openings that I would see were like all full-time job, and they would like a candidate that did not have any other occupations or like things like that. So it's really
The crazy one that I read lately
yeah.
was a not familiar one. I was like, oh, what?
Yeah, they have some weird requirements. So I think it's an issue that has to like also do with the human resources culture in Albania, which is like inexistent, and they don't really see it as important. But I think it's really important to actually value the candidates not just based on how many hours they can stay in the job, but what they bring, and also, for example, you can maybe combine like like two persons for one shift, and you can see that they would maybe be more productive, more happy, and really like maybe in the future after they finish their studies they can of course continue full time, and they would be a really good asset because you have already like they already know the process and everything. So I think that like in general employers should be more open to like young people and students and be a bit more accommodating, because I think that they really have good potential, but they just don't get the chance. And then you can see that other people maybe are not that motivated, but since they have the time they can get the job. So I think that's like a sad reality, but yeah.
How many interviews did you make to get the job that you had or have?
Well, I think my case was a bit different because I graduated at my university and I had a 4.0 GPA. And
we have a genius in the table, guys, and
no.
It's not me.
No, it's just, and then after that, the university offered me the position as a teaching assistant. So I think it was like a bit different
you're
way
lucky,
of a
lucky person.
Yeah, but I think
and hardworking, of course.
Thank you. So I think it was just my situation was a bit different than maybe what it's normally like in the job market. So I'm not really sure how to like really give that kind of answer, but I can say from
your
previous
friends, for example, what you have heard.
Yeah, I think it's really hard. Like also, as I said, for example, the job postings do not have all the information that maybe when you go to the interview you find out, and then you have like maybe waste your time a bit because they were like nothing like the same or something like that. And then maybe like also sometimes you do not get answers back, which is like something that really happens, that they say that they will notify. Yeah, they ghost you a lot. And then of course in Albania we do not have the culture of posting a salary range, at least.
Yeah, there is a caption. There is a workplace in our company. How much you getting paid? DM us.
That's good. They at least say DM us, but then the others are like, "Are you working to get money?" But like, I mean, of course you're not working just for money, but you need to know like a range, and like it's not something that you're really like asking for so much just to know a range. So I think that there are like a lot of issues with like how the jobs are designed and how the job requirements are put out, and like the information that is made available. And then when you go to the first or second interview, and then you find out like other things, and like, oh, we work part-time, we work overtime, but we do not pay you. And then we have like all these other things that come up during the interviews, which are like, well, why didn't
they tell you?
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes they don't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, during the second or third interview, maybe some things come up. So yeah.
Usually they ghost you after the first time.
Yeah.
So your artwork is part of Empower Art project, which is all about art, connection, youth, raising issues that touches us. What has this experience meant to you? Like the impact that left after it?
Okay, so first I can say like of course I appreciate the whole project, like for involving youth and like having this creative way, not just like for example giving information, but also having this competition and having like the ideas brought by youth in a creative way. So I think that was really interesting, and I think that it really makes maybe a different way of impact, and having like it's really interesting. And also I really like the fact that also like the coordination was by young people, so it was also interesting. And not only like the coffee talk discussion was really like captivating and had all these different perspectives from youngsters, but also for example even this podcast that is like following up is really interesting. And for me, like I think it would be like a really nice experience like to remember. So yeah.
Thank you. Even for us, I'm happy to know that our project kind of left a positive mark in the youth that participated in. It really meant a lot hearing your thoughts, your experience with our project, and everything in between. And I hope to hear many more projects that you participate and hear your name more in them. Thank you everyone for hearing us. Remember the topics that we have, the problems that we have as youngsters. It's us that should raise our voices to make a change. And I have to thank everyone that participated, even though they are not here with us. I have to thank the 5 girls of Art Voices and everyone that has supported us in this project. See you in the soon ones.